Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do today a friendship tarot reading for 17 members, Seungkwan and Vernon. This was requested in the comment section, so I'm going to start with it. And first, I'm going to talk a bit about someone's energy. He is a Capricorn, which I was amazed because he didn't give me Capricorn vibes, but it's incredible. He is a Capricorn with a moon in Virgo, which makes a lot of sense of why he is very he's hilarious. Actually, I like his attitude. Actually, I thought there was something mercurial about him. I was like, this guy is a Gemini or he's a Virgo sun. Something is going on here because he's very expressive, very talkative, very sharp, very witty, and a bit sassy also, which is not very Capricorn-like. I mean, we have different varieties of Capricorn. For example, I'm a Capricorn myself, but I'm the kind of Capricorn that has a lot of Scorpio placements, so I tend to be a bit more observant, outgoing, but it's like I observe people, and it takes me a while to actually be like, okay, I'm going to actually get in the connection with you. It's like I'm not judging you, but I'm studying you, something like that. But I also have Jupiter in the first house, so I'm very friendly actually. But in his case of someone, I was really amazed because I was like, oh, he's so chatty, oh, he's so energetic, oh wow, he gives me this very nervous vibe, and he really makes me laugh. He really makes me like, but at the same time, there's this thing about him that since he's so energetic and his energy it's all over the place, sometimes I cannot concentrate enough on his energy. It's like he's always like running away from me energetically. So I wonder why he feels the need to always being this excited or having this high level of because it's not excitement, it's like he's hyperactive, and this is very moon in Virgo actually, to be always like your mind keeps running with ideas, and you need to do something because you get really nervous, you get really like, because your mind is working constantly. So probably if you mix a Capricorn sun with a Virgo, and probably he does have a Mars in Aquarius, because there's something really like original about the way he moves as well. So he's really interesting. He's really interesting. I just cannot see through him. This is what happens with him. That I cannot see what's beyond him being super intelligent, amazingly talented, very secure of his potential, because he's someone that he probably is really, really smart. So, he has a lot of potential. So it's like a key element and participant in the group. Probably he has a lot of ideas and is in charge of some of these ideas to be developed for the group. So, that a lot of idols that are Virgo or Moon in Virgo, they tend to be like the songwriters, or they participate more often in the production team. So, but I want to see beyond him. I want to see beyond this image that he shows. I want to see what's inside of him, and somehow I cannot do it because he's like moving around. His energy is always like running away from me. So I don't know. And when it comes to Vernon, well, Vernon is an energy that I can somehow um, I can understand a bit better because he's an Aquarius with the moon in Scorpio. So even though he is an earth sign, at the same time he's an Aquarius, and he's original, and he's also very intelligent, and he is very different, and likes to innovate, and probably is it's like his moon in Scorpio gives me this sense that there's something deeper in that guy, like beyond of him being like this Leo DiCaprio version, which I'm going to explain a little bit why, because every time I see Vernon and I see like this Korean mixed American Leo DiCaprio kind of look-alike, I think that it makes sense him being a moon in Scorpio to look like a Scorpio, because you know that Leo DiCaprio is a Scorpio sun. And the fact that Vernon looks like him, actually it makes a lot of sense. Because, for example, I know a lot of people, no, a lot of people. One commented in my video that I talk too much about myself, but well, I do reflect a lot about my own experience to share it with others. So if you don't like it, you can skip the introduction, or not watch my videos at all. So what happened in my case, being a moon in Scorpio, is that I was always, yes, being like, oh, you look like that actress, and probably that actress or that artist was a Scorpio sun. But mostly in my case, it's like brunette, or probably dark skin, or black females, because I'm from Latin America. My complexions are Hispanic, so sometimes I would get like people would be like, oh, you look like that actress, and when it comes to races, this actress would be black, or would be like Latin as well, but more like black, and sometimes some of them could be a bit of Asian, because I do have like some Asian features as well. But for example, one that I would compare a lot was Gabrielle Union. I don't know if you know her, but she's a black female, and I was like, oh, you look like her, and I was like, okay. And she is a Scorpio, and this happened to me a lot, to be like compared with Scorpio people, to be seen like similar physically, and very similar, and I don't see it myself, but they see it. So in the case of Vernon, that I see that he is like this modern version, and for me he's much more handsome than Leonardo DiCaprio, but he does look like Leonardo DiCaprio, so it makes sense. This is what I wanted to share, this brief story, so you can actually understand how the moon sign works, because sometimes you are like, oh no, you need to be a sun sign, or you need to be born in that sign to be actually a bit similar physically to someone. For example, if I'm a Capricorn, I must look like another Capricorn, and that's not the case. So let's start with someone's side. He got the Two of Swords, the Seven of Swords in reverse, both of them, and the Eight of Cups. So yes, like I said, he had a lot of cards in reversed, which the Two of Swords is about not knowing which path to take, and I think that since it is in reversed, it's telling me that probably right now he's connecting with a part of himself where he's actually finding himself, and where he is probably more in a state of feeling more calm mentally, like more relaxed. Because I do sense his energy to be very nervous, very electric, very like he's not at ease. Never. He's always thinking about the next thing to do. He's always thinking about work. He has a lot of things to do, and he feels really responsible also for this. But you know what's amazing is that actually I don't think that these responsibilities are being like given to him. I think he gets like tangled with thoughts and ideas and perceptions, and he just doesn't want to mess up. He is very perfectionist, is a perfectionist, so he wants to attain that level of perfection. And sometimes for Moon in Virgo people, it's really hard to let go of that vision, because that vision actually can make them actually feel a bit unstable. I have two cards here that talk to me about thoughts and ideas and perception. So it means that he's always thinking, he's always connecting. So probably when it comes to his relationship with Vernon, I don't think they would get along from start. I think that here also with the Seven of Swords in reverse, I think he's learning to understand Vernon. I think that there's something about feeling a bit like paranoid about Vernon, like thinking, oh, he doesn't like me, or oh, he doesn't talk to me, so I'm sure he doesn't like me. Oh, I must have some defect. It's like Vernon's like this kind of attitude that sometimes he could have of not, probably he's quiet or he keeps a lot of things to himself. So when it comes to someone's perception, it triggers a lot of his insecurities, because he's someone that, since he's ruled by Mercury and he has like a lot of air energy. For him, communication it's important in relationships. So he could be talking to you about nonsense, and he could be talking hours and hours about meaningless things, but he needs to keep some kind of communication with you, because he fits from that energy. So he can be a bit gossipy as well. So he needs to be careful about how he uses that that ability of his with words. But he is the kind that gets a bit suspicious when people are not that expressive. It's like he's probably the kind of person that he's always asking you about what do you think, or what, and start a conversation. And if you are very like quiet, or you are very concise about your answer, he will be like, oh, this person is hiding something. So he could be like, oh, I don't like this guy. This guy is very close up. I don't like it. He doesn't like me. I think that the first thing I see is that he doubts himself when it comes to actually being like, oh, like I'm sure he gets annoyed by my presence or something like that. But it's all in his mind. He doesn't say anything about it. It's just in his mind. And then the last card is the Eight of Cups. So yes, I think that he's slowly like moving on from that perception. I think that they have been they had been through moments of a lot of unity, and they had probably to share a few more moments, and actually he got to know a bit more about Vernon's nature, and that Vernon is unique, and it's hard to get to know him, of course. I can totally see from his perception that probably this could be anyone's perception, because for Vernon, he is like very observant, and sometimes he gets so immersed in observing people that he somehow feels a bit like aloof, like he's not really there in the moment. Probably he's like spacing out, like he just goes away with his imagination. So um, probably it wasn't easy for someone to actually understand him. But I think that he got to a point in this relationship that they are now where he's changing his perception of Vernon. He's like moving away from all the old perceptions that he had. And he's like also setting himself free from actually the fear of feeling rejected. Because, like I said, there's something about someone's energy that is very insecure. It's very like anxious. He's always anxious. So I think that this is like a defense mechanism for him. There's something about him fearing that other people would talk behind his back. So he would probably talk first behind other people's back. So he would like, it's like, I don't want you to hurt me, so I will hurt you first, something like this. And he's also someone that if he probably gets like emotionally like not comfortable with himself, he starts talking a lot, so he could be a bit gossipy. And probably this also is a reason why maybe Vernon was like like not like I don't like you. It's just that Vernon doesn't trust people easily, and it's not about someone's. It's just that they need to find a middle ground where they can communicate, and I think that they are doing it. But they are two differently, completely different people. Do I mean? But thankfully, he's moving away from this like perception in his head that was very like harming for him, to think that, oh, this person doesn't like me, and I think he gets really anxious. I don't know if maybe he's anxious socially as a whole with someone's energy, because I try to connect with his energy in a very deep moment or level, and I cannot, because he cannot stop moving. He's like someone that he is always like, it seems like his energy is always like jumping around, so I cannot pinpoint it. I cannot be like, okay, I'm watching you. Let's go with Vernon. He got the World card, the Page of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. So yes, for Vernon, it's also they are coming to the end of a cycle when it comes to their career, when it comes to what they are also achieving as a group. I think he feels very confident about that they are moving on from phases. They are like slowly progressing to a new era. So it's good because this world card also talks to me about that they had been always very diligent, the group, about always finishing things, before starting a new one. It's like they do not leave on projects incomplete. They are very, very like organized in that sense, despite of them being a lot of members. And also here with the Page of Pentacles, I think that also, while it's also really probably something about Vernon that probably he doesn't like connect that well with someone, it's because it's like he feels like someone is the kind of person that he's always like fixated, or probably he's always like wanting to be productive, or be always working, or always trying to make, I wouldn't say make money, because I don't think he makes money actually, but I think that he is very someone is very passionate about results. So probably he gets involved into a lot of projects and into a lot of activities. And I think that probably what what Vernon is showing me is that he's that kind of workaholic, that he just comes around every now and then to say hi, and try to connect with you in the terms of 5 seconds, and trying to talk to you and catch up with you, and then he leaves, So I think that this is why for Vernon it's not easy to actually connect or feel like they actually have like this very deep and emotional and deep understanding of each other. I think that definitely Vernon is very observant of him. I can definitely see him like being very observant of Seungkwan. So probably there's something about Seungkwan's being this energetic or being this, because I feel like he sends him like some kind of irrational person. And also that Seungkwan is very that he definitely has a lot of he wants to work, he wants to work so much, and he wants to keep being productive. And probably for Vernon, his way of creating something, he takes things slowly, so their rhythm is totally different. How they go after what they want is totally different. They are very different people. And at the same time, it could be also that Vernon is interested in some kind of things, or studies, or some kind of um, other kinds of like methods that probably someone doesn't understand, or probably it's like he cannot be like, oh yes, I like what you're studying, like tell me what you're reading about. Probably they do not even like the same gender of, I don't know, of literature, but they do have in common that they are both very passionate about their careers. It's just that, like I mentioned before, the way they go after what they want, it's very different. And this is why they cannot relate to each other. It's like, okay, we embrace that we are different, and from now on, we are like moving on. And then, yes, they are moving on, because here with the Six of Swords, they are definitely moving on to a new stage in the relationship, where actually, yes, they are letting go of a lot of like old perceptions of each other. I think that they are really definitely becoming more flexible. I think that both of them actually do fear rejection and do fear what other people say of them. It's just that they express it in different ways, and their characters are very different. So, for example, if someone feels a bit suspicious about something, he would probably like start talking nonstop. And in the case of Vernon, it's the totally opposite. He would like evade himself. And also, I think that what Vernon also is showing me is that he is aware that he is someone that is not easy to get close to. So it's not someone's actually like fault. Like actually, I can do several readings of Vernon with other members, and probably they will get the same, because I think that probably Vernon is close with one of two people, and then you can stop counting, because he is very private at the same time. And he's also someone that he is learning slowly. He's learning about who he is, or probably what he wants. It's like he has such a deep world inside of him and imagination, but he needs to like he needs to not be so pessimist about himself, because he does have, sometimes when you are a moon in Scorpio, you have a lot of unconscious fears, you have a lot of like strong emotions that sometimes can make you feel a bit unstable, like you are about to explode, but you never do. You never explode, because it's like the whole passion and intensity of a Scorpio energy is actually bottled up inside of you. It's not the same as being a Scorpio sun, because the Scorpio sun, it's the manifestation of the sign. It's in the body and it's in the outside. So yes, you act like a Scorpio, you talk like a Scorpio, you feel like a Scorpio, you are like, okay, here I am. When it comes to being a moon in Scorpio, it means that it rules your emotional reactions and your emotional responses. And sometimes this emotional world, you do not show it to everyone. Actually, it's a part of you that only people that are close to you know about this. And you will even like keep this from your loved ones, about how intense you are or how intense you are feeling. So it's hard. It's hard. It's going to take a while for him to actually like being able to master this energy. But it comes with a lot of gifts, and one of them is the gift of transformation and also of being a healer for others. So as an overall of the relationship, we have the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands in reverse, the King of Swords, and I pulled an extra card from the Oracle of Romantic Angels, and I got Honeymoon. So yes, you will definitely see them. If you see interactions between them, you will see them like more like having fun and like enjoying the time together. I think that they are definitely more like loosen up. They are like, okay, we are different, but it's like they are no longer ruled by fear, and at the same time they are not letting this perception of what the other person may be thinking about them, they are not letting their insecurities get in the way of actually having the potential to be friends and also having the potential to connect with each other. And probably there's something about Sunwas, because, like I said, he has a lot of earth and air elements in his birth chart. He doesn't have actually a lot of water. So I think there's something about his emotional nature that he somehow doesn't allow himself to feel so much. So probably when he is near Vernon, Vernon with this water moon and stuff, when you have a conversation with him, he can have the ability to make you feel things. So if you're someone that you are not used to be connected with your emotions, probably he will break you emotionally. He will make you, for example, you're having a conversation with him and he will say something that will like cause like some like eureka moment for you, and probably it's going to be very painful for you to face a few things about yourself. Vernon can have I do not know much about them because I'm just starting to see their content, but I think that Vernon has this profoundness in him that probably he doesn't even realizes that he has it, but he's probably like that person that he just says something and it just hits you, but it hits you hard. It hits you with a realization about your own persona and about something very intimate of you that you kept somehow that you kept hidden inside of yourself and that you didn't notice that it was there all along. So probably this is why probably a lot of people that are not very emotional, they try to not interact so much with him or not having this kind of one-on-one moments, because they are like, oh, he's going to make me talk about, or I feel the feeling that I'm going to get out of that conversation crying somehow. So it's really nice. It's really nice. And also with the honeymoon, I think that definitely they are enjoying each other's presence, and I think that also this has to do with the group themselves. Probably the group is also going through a moment where they are allowing themselves to enjoy, to relax a bit, to not be like all the time like worried about the future, about what's going on with everything that is going on with the pandemic times that we are living. They felt for a while really claustrophobic somehow, like they didn't have like that much options to actually keep their career. They also worry about the fans, they want to also comfort the fans, and so they do feel each other in their own world. They do feel like a strong responsibility to the fans. So yes, but now that they are in the honeymoon, it's like they are opening their eyes to each other, and they are not like judging from. They are just like understanding each other's love language, being like, okay, you communicate that you care in this way, and I communicate that I care in that way. Okay, let's compromise, let's join forces, let's make it work. So yes guys, this is all I have for the two of them. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like. And also I would love to hear your feedback in the comment sections and other recommendations if you want to. Thank you so much for being here guys. Bye.